Okay. Well, this is the ISOcast. Oh, I'm Corey. Normally, I have not been bringing a beer to these sessions.
Oh, look at you.
Yeah, so I've got a Sapporo going on here. But I'm wearing like athleisure workout wear. So that means that this is not like sitting around drinking a beer.
It's athletic drinking.
I think so. There's something that changes, right?
I thought we were not doing that. You said you weren't buying beer anymore.
I haven't been buying as much beer. Maybe I should have been more clear.
You qualified that.
Have you ever noticed that there's something that happens though the days that you wake up and we don't go anywhere because you can't.
Right.
But you maybe are not necessarily going to exercise, but you still put on exercise clothes. Like I'm wearing brand new running shoes right now.
What you got? You got the New Balance?
No, I've been buying Allbirds.
Oh,
yeah,
nice.
It's this company that Leo DiCaprio wears them. So should I?
Sure. My dad once went shoe shopping, as dads do, and he went into the store with a white pair of New Balances and came out of the store having purchased a exact same pair of white New Balance. He just did an exchange, I want to say.
Is that the pluralization, or is it News Balance, like attorneys general?
Mm-hmm.
Or
I like that. Oh, I like that. Balances.
I'm thinking it was my grandmother on my father's side used to, when she would like a pair of shoes or a shirt or something, would buy several of them, like copies of them, so that she had fresh ones in boxes, which sounds great in theory until one day you realize that you've got closets full of unused clothes that are maybe even out of fashion at this point.
I mean, most people buy things and then never wear them. Can you imagine buying 10 of the same thing and then never wearing them?
I fantasized about this, right? Like years ago I switched to V-neck t-shirts. Mm-hmm. Before I'm like, I'm not doing that. What am I like? Get a German Shepherd and an El Camino and
slippers. Yep.
Slippers. And that's it.
Lotions.
I give up. But then somebody bought a bunch for me and I'm like, oh, this is actually pretty nice. So I've been on the quest for, the perfect V-neck, right? The right fit. It's not too tight under the arms. It doesn't make my belly look too big. All this stuff. The V is not too deep. And I fantasize. No, like my grandmother maybe fantasized that once I find this ultimate V-neck, I'm going to buy like 50 of them, like different colors and an assortment of them, and just load my closet with exactly like the perfect shirt.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But
haven't found it.
Okay.
And I realized that's pretty nutty.
Is there a perfect V-neck though? Because that's like it's the shirt that people talk about, but then I bought a few. I have a few.
Yep.
I don't love them. They don't fit quite right. It's hard.
Here's my experience.
Tight.
Yeah. There's a company, I think it's Johnny Vavartos or something like that. I don't know. I've been buying some of his clothing. And it's really expensive when you buy it like new. You go to his store and like there's one in New York and one in Toronto, and you go in and it's like, this t-shirt is $300. Right.
But it lasts forever.
Then you put it on. They don't. You put it on and it's perfect. Like the fit, the feel, the fabric, the everything. You have to wait and you find other stores that sell them later off season. You can pick it up for $75. So I'm pretty close to finding the perfect V because I found the designer that I think understands how to fit a shirt to a man's torso.
Oh. See, that's important too. Because unless you're spending $300, I don't think a lot of this is tailored to the man's body outside. They got the generic men's fashion, like my dad, and he's very happy buying the same thing again and again. But I don't think I think he's the outlier in that. I think most people I like variety, differences, and I find t-shirt shopping difficult.
Have you ordered clothing online now that we're in COVID days?
No, I haven't bought any clothes.
Nothing.
I don't need clothes.
I'm wearing clothes now. What do I need?
I have my bicycle shorts like you that I wear pretty much every day as I don't go anywhere. And it's been really hot, so t-shirts have been optional around my house.
Okay. You're not worried like you're going to end up with a barrel? Like that's it? You ran out of clothes?
Maybe, but not yet.
Okay.
I'll get there. Yeah.
Have you seen, though, there's these applications on the telephones that you point at your body in its underwear and it shows you how big you are or small you are in varieties of areas, and then tailors clothes to fit your your shape.
Whatever it may be.
Would you point your phone at your naked body?
I would do that. I haven't.
That was a quick answer.
I think that sounds fun. I think I'm very interested in what that would. They're expediting the go shopping with a friend, get advice. They're just saying we're your friends, we're your advice. This is what you need. You can make the decision if you want to do it. But I that's what I want when I go shopping. I just want someone to tell me this is good, this is not good, this will suit you, this doesn't. And if the app does that and the size, I like that. That's appealing to me.
All of this seems to qualify for me the things that I've liked doing and some of the things I've resisted doing, like buying a bed on the internet, sheets on the internet, beach towels on the internet, pointing phones at my naked torso on the internet to buy clothing, shoes. Like there was forever you think, well, you got to go try on shoes, and you don't.
No, you don't.
Because you can send them back, right?
Sheets, the same thing. We got some new sheets from Casper. Linens. Nice. They're very nice, but apparently they have a 2 week, maybe 3 week kind of try it out phase, and you can send them back. So I don't know what they do with the sheets that get sent back, because
right,
did we buy someone's trial sheets that they rolled around?
I think it's like the beds. I bought a Haven mattress and Boll and Branch sheets. These are not sponsors, and boy, did I make a mistake on the sheets because I ordered them from the U.S. and man,
never showed up.
No, they arrived after I paid lots and lots of taxes and customs and duties, and boy, did I pay for sheets. And a mattress. Anyway, you return them, and I think in some of the mattress companies they donate them to homeless shelters. That's what I've heard. I don't know if that's true. Okay. I could be making that part up. And the sheets, I think they are disposed of. Because you can't, like, you're going to buy somebody's, I don't like these sheets.
No.
Yeah.
You can't, I hope not. Can't do that. But
this is COVID related though.
Yeah.
Because I'm wondering, what is the shopping experience for you now, if there is an experience for you?
For online shopping?
Just like going to a store. Like the online part, I think we've all kind of. Really
I think it's the same as it's been for the last 3 months. I've gotten used to it. So I don't think about it too much anymore. You bring your mask to go to the store, to the grocery store, and you go do your shopping, and everyone stays away from you, and you stay away from them, and I don't touch anything that I don't plan on buying, and if I do touch it, and then I kind of think, well, now I have to buy it. I don't really want to put it back on the shelf. I don't really go to too many stores that aren't food related. The odd one, but. Hop in. If there's people in there, I don't go in. If there's only a couple, I'll hop in for a minute or two, check it out, and then take off. I'm pretty comfortable with the masked shopping experience.
I mean, that's the market experience, right? We're talking essentials plus.
Right.
I don't need a lot of the things I'm still buying in the grocery store.
Do you have people that every now and then, in Toronto is pretty good with the mask thing, but there's always sometimes one person walking around like a Shoppers Drug Mart or a supermarket without a mask on. No. And it's weird. It's kind of strange.
We don't have it here. Okay. Masks province-wide are mandatory. We have the dick noses, right? The folks that are like, I don't need this over my nose. It's like,
Right.
okay, that's, yeah, you do, but whatever. We got the chin strappers always in the parking lot, right? We've got the rear view mirror danglers.
I've noticed that. It's the new air freshener.
I keep mine. You know the little hook that's in the back seat of your car for hanging your jacket? That's where mine hang. And they get blasted with UV light. I still wash them. Don't get me wrong. I'm not walking around with dirty masks. But
God, no.
I'm wondering though, like, have you done the shopping? Like, today is a lovely day. I'm going to go to the outdoor shopping mall, or I'm going to go
Not really.
to the
I mean,
garden
that's
center.
not me. I don't do that. My partner we've gone a few places. She likes plants, so we've gone to some nurseries and plant shops and stuff, but not like privately owned individual street front stores. We
Right.
have, I'm pretty sure she has not. I definitely have not been in a mall since February, maybe. And we were biking around town last week, I want to say. A beautiful day, just on our bikes around, and we were up in our old hood because we moved. And I assume all cities have done this, where they've blocked off traffic in one lane and they've set up
Yeah.
like the restaurant patio type of thing.
Yeah.
And it was 3:00 in the afternoon on a Wednesday. So nobody was around. Nobody was there. The restaurant was empty. Hey, you want to have a beer? Let's have a beer. So we sat in traffic while they got the cones set up. So it was kind of a unique experience.
Sure.
And that was our first time, quote unquote, at a restaurant, if that counts as being at a restaurant
Wow.
in this phase 3. And then we were trying to think, when was the last time she and I sat at a restaurant, not takeout, not delivery, actually we couldn't think of it. It's got to be like January. I have no idea what it would be.
That's funny. We have something similar going on in Montreal. I mean, that's always been the case. They sometimes block off parking and turn it into a terrace, right? A patio, as we say in Ontario. And then now in COVID days, it's like they're just blocking off streets, right?
Yeah.
Which is great. I mean, and it's functional. I still think people are packed a little tight for not wearing masks while they're eating, but
Yeah.
whatever.
No, it doesn't make me. I wouldn't go for dinner. I'm not there yet. And that's what the waiter said to us. We asked if they were open because there was 0 people there. Everyone's at work or whatever. And oh yeah, come on. And we're just chatting. How's it going? And he's like, yeah, phase 3 now, Toronto. We're allowed to sit inside, but he's like, no one's doing it, at least at that
No one's
restaurant.
sitting
He's like-
inside, yeah.
And he's like, I wouldn't either. I work here, but restaurants are still cutting corners, trying to make back some profits, and
Yep.
and he just said people aren't there yet. At least in that place, Toronto, we're not there yet. I don't think.
We're traumatized as people, I think, still, so it's weird. Like you feel like, I feel oddly guilty. I can't speak for others. I feel oddly guilty going into some of these situations where it's like, I really don't need to be here, but I also at the same time want to support that you are here.
Mm-hmm.
I took the car in for like a servicing, oil change, all that stuff, and had like 2 hours to kill. And I'm in the middle of, wherever. And it used to be, it's like, I'm going to just jump on the subway, go downtown, do shit. But now, like, this, what are you going to do? There's nothing you're going to do. So I'm like, okay. So I went to like Toys R Us and just, kind of sadly moped around there. And then, thanked people.
Just for
washed
something to
my
do.
hands and-
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm going to go get some breakfast. So I went to like an Alo Mokoko. For some reason, we have all of these breakfast joints. In Quebec, it's all they're eating is breakfast in the morning. And then like, I think it's just cheese and French fries at night. I don't know. So you can get breakfast pretty much till 3:00 anywhere, any day. And there's like 6 options all across the street from each other everywhere. So I went into this one because I'm like, I'm gonna get, some sausages and stuff. You know how it is, you got to have that sometimes.
Yep.
So that was my first restaurant experience all by myself.
On the
going into
inside?
this, on the inside. They had tables on the outside, but I looked on the inside and it was all booths.
Okay.
And it was every other booth. I'm like, well, this is safe as heck.
Booths are deep. Yeah.
Yeah, booths are deep. It's already got a barrier. All the PPE all over the staff. There's almost nobody in there. So I'm like, there's no way this restaurant is sustaining itself. But I'm gonna have some sausage. So I went in and I ordered it, and it was odd, right? It was very odd. And I went back and talked to my partner, and it's like, we had the same dialogue. When was the last time that we went to a restaurant and sat down and ordered food and drink? And we still really haven't come up with it.
See, we can't either. We have no idea. And I honestly don't know. It's so long ago. And maybe it's me. Maybe I'm being too careful because my partner's a nurse and she's ready. I think she's ready to go back to a restaurant, but she won't go if I'm not comfortable. And we were out of town a couple of days ago. We went for dinner we planned to go for dinner at this place, and it was busy because it's a tourist town. And they have a patio and an indoors, and there are people sitting inside and outside. And I said, if we can't sit outside, I don't want to eat here. I don't want to go inside.
Yeah.
I'm not there yet. But maybe I'm just being overly cautious. I don't know.
No, I heard this well put, I think, in the outset of the lockdown, that if we are too vigilant and we go too far with it and it works, we have two choices. We can say we were way too vigilant, we went way overboard. Or we can say, that's what we needed to do and it works. Because we don't really know either way, but we get to choose.
Right.
And I'm trying to continue to opt into the camp that it's like, it's important that we're too vigilant because it's working, right? But now I'm kind of in this place where I'm not going through the COVID fatigue to a point where it's like I got to go out and scream at people at a concert. I mean, that'd be nice, but I'm not there. But I am getting to the place where I don't know if I'm ready to go sit in a restaurant. Like if I need it that much, because the experience of the restaurant often is the reason why you go. It's not just the good food. It's the ambiance. It's the...
Maybe there's a little music or something. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. And there's other people and you're interacting with folks. It's a thing. It's a shared experience. We're all sharing the experience of eating this delicious food. And sometimes I'm like, well, if we're all just sitting there and we're sharing the experience of awkwardly trying to navigate how to safely eat our food, and that is the denominator of every dining experience, the unique qualities of it now is gone. Like the unique qualities used to be the food's likely going to come on a plate. But now it's like we're all in a pandemic.
I was just going to say, because there's some places that are, and this is all good stuff, but it takes away from that experience, giving you plastic knives and forks and stuff. And it's like, well, that takes, not that that's not a good thing, but it detracts from the experience of being in that restaurant. And yeah, I don't know. What about movie theaters? Because same question. They're open. They're open for business, but I don't want to go to a movie.
It sucked in the first place, to be honest. Yeah. I think in a lot of cases, it was never a good experience. I'm not one of the guys, this is overpriced. It's like, no, you're paying for a shared experience in a room with a bunch of people who watch a giant screen. That's fair. And, they got to make their money. But the experience itself, like the crappy food and the dirty seats, and it's the whole thing is kind of like, these guys really need to step up their game.
I got dirty seats at home.
Yeah. I paid for some of that VIP stuff. I think the last show we went to, we paid like for there's going to be a big seat. They're going to bring you food. You're going to have a beer. It's going to be great, and it still was like, now I'm just eating, trying to find what's on these nachos in a darkened theater, whispering while I'm watching a movie.
It's not like it's a cheap experience either. If you go to that, I think we just went, if we got free tickets because of our points. We got Cineplex cards and all that jazz, and free tickets. So that's okay. But have you been out of town at all? Have you been around? Yeah, us too.
Yeah, we have. I know that you guys went on a trip, not to get too creepy.
Yeah, it's okay. And keep in my Instagram. That's fine.
So do you want to talk about where you went though?
Yeah,
I'd be worried about like being a Torontonian and going into the rural areas,
into the county.
Yeah, where people know you ain't from here. Right?
Well, there it seems like very few people are from there. So that was the deal. So yeah, we went down to Prince Edward County, which is about 2 hours and change east of Toronto, and it's wine country. And I've never done the wine tasting before. It was my first time.
Oh, you did that.
We did the wine tastings.
Oh, wow.
And this is a good, I wanted to talk about this today because I think it's a good example of this phase 3 that we're in.
Yeah.
And some things that are really cool and some things that are maybe still on the borderline. I don't know. But on a tangent to that, I think, again, we've talked about this, we're able to explore our own country, our own province, our own things around where were living during this time, because you can't travel internationally and you can't really travel across states or provinces. You can, but you shouldn't, and it's difficult to do.
Right.
So I'm finding that we're doing little day trips, and this one was a 3-day trip, but just around Toronto and around places that I've never been to, never really thought of, or wasn't a priority to visit. If you have the option to go to, Mexico or Costa Rica or something, that would, for me, was always going to be, well, I'll just do that and I can do the Ontario trips later. But the county was great weather, busy, but you didn't notice it. Like during the day, there was nobody around. We had bicycles, didn't see many people. The vineyards themselves were not that. We went during the week. I imagine on the weekends it's flooded. Just when we went for dinner was when it seemed busy, just because there aren't that many restaurants around. But the wine tasting was very interesting.
How so?
You've been before, yeah?
I like to think that I have, but I haven't.
Oh, okay.
I know. I strike you as the kind of guy. It's like, of course.
Of course.
But no.
Because I got a whole quiz here for you. Because the thing that I found interesting.
You prepped a quiz? There's a pop quiz?
Well, it's a vocabulary quiz.
I like this. Oh, yes.
A wine tasting vocabulary quiz.
This is already getting oaky.
Because I learned what that meant, too. I didn't even know it's the barrel material.
Yes,
That's
it
what
is.
it's I'm an unoaked guy myself, but...
Interesting. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I was observing myself, everybody else. I'm assuming 99% of people in the world don't really know much about wine. This is my assumption. But 100% of people at the tastings, and nobody can see this, but are holding their glasses up. They're doing the swirls, right? They're looking at it. They're doing the with their mouth.
Oh.
I'm convinced nobody knows what this means. No one knows what that does. And it's really interesting.
Okay. I know some of the things I think that are happening there, but if you're going to quiz me, I'm curious.
So I also, they give you these menus, which is really cool. But, if you look at like a really crappy processed food ingredients list, and there's like 19 things on it. So all of these wine menus have long lists of ingredients in wine. I was very surprised by that. But a lot of them, I have no idea what they mean. So if I say that a wine is flinty, what do you think that means? It's a flinty wine. Mm-hmm.
I know what I think it means, but I don't know what it actually means.
I don't have the answer to this either, by the way. It has flint.
It has flint? Is that the answer?
No, I don't know what flint is either. It's a city in Michigan with the water problem. That's what I thought of.
It's an object one would use to start a fire, right?
Another wine had a stony minerality.
Oh, fuck off.
Mm-hmm.
This is going to get explicit.
Stony
minerality.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, God. Sip my beer.
It's a pretentious activity that all of us can do and enjoy the pretentiousness of it, I think.
Well, isn't there, though, like, just to harken back to what you were saying, the swirling, I think, isn't it checking the viscosity of the wine against the glass to see how it adheres? Because
it could be.
Like a scotch. You swirl scotch around because you can see like how viscous it is, And then I think the over your tongue is because you're aerating the wine, right? You're forcing oxygen into the wine to see how it behaves on the palate.
I've heard all of these things said. In movies, that's what they do.
TV.
I don't. In TV, yeah.
That's where I went to school.
I know, like, I bought my dad a decanter once for Father's Day. I don't know. I don't know what all these things do. No, there's no way to use it.
It's a nice thing to buy, though.
What do you visualize if you think a wine is racy and refreshing?
Oh, jeez.
What comes to your mind?
Okay, I feel like if I had too many, I'd be in trouble. And I almost feel a little bad having it at this time of day. That's what I'm feeling.
It's also like racy. If you apply these to other contexts, it's very interesting. So, it's a cowboy in a glass.
Oh, this is a wild ride. That's where I'm going with this.
That's racy.
Yeah, we're going up and down. Who knows what happens behind the bar?
With your full body. It's a full body.
Hello.
So that's the quiz. That's all I got. That's the ones that stood out to me. Yeah.
Did you have were there other like accoutrements? Did you have cheese and crackers and charcuterie or whatever you call it?
Oh, yeah. So there's the bread and the vinegar, or the oils, and some of them have cheese, some of them have cheese for purchase. We brought our own cheese. I don't know if you're supposed to do that, but
Probably not, but you know, COVID.
exactly. It was a great experience, my first one, and got to taste a lot of wines I wouldn't have tasted otherwise. And we bought a couple of bottles. But I don't know if you do this. I do everything I look at or am around now. I'm thinking how it could be different during COVID versus pre-COVID.
Right.
And the wine tasting experience to me strikes me as one that might, and I have no idea because this is my first time, might not have changed that much. It's outside anyway. It's a summer fall activity. This doesn't happen in the winter, I'm assuming. You're outside, you're sipping wine, people bring you the glasses, they leave. I'd be curious. We didn't ask anybody, but I'm curious what might have changed in this other than just people not showing up and doing it.
My experience thus far in doing extracurricular out of town activities would be there are less tourists. Frankly, we went up for dinner and drinks to meet family. My brother and sister-in-law were phase 3 over to Mont Tremblant, which is like on a good day about an hour north of where we live. Don't be creepy. And we went up there, and it was great because normally you'd have to make a reservation long in advance. It's busy. It's just jammed with Japanese, and we're walking around and it's like, it's all just Quebecois chilling. It's, you can walk into any restaurant anytime, sit down, have a nice meal. So there was that, which is kind of sad, right? It's not the spirit of what it is. And similarly, my brother was out there golfing and stuff, and he said, it's like, I can just walk up and get a tee time,
Yeah.
And it's, I don't want to celebrate why that's the case, but at the same time, I feel a little bit like, well, it is what it is. Not to be coy or not to, I hate that phrase, but it is what it is. we get to just walk up and golf.
Yeah.
It's funny you mention it because we're in the throes of deciding where we're going to go for a vacation. And I'm an advocate of vacationing after Labor Day, right? I like that as my trigger point. I personally have always found September, first week, best week in the summer.
Yep.
Best week. Because the weather is, you remember you'd go back to school and be like, damn, the weather is so good.
So good.
I'm back in school. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's great. Everybody's gone, plus COVID. So that's normally where I like to take like a week and do something. So we were thinking, and again, not to get overly personal, but we were thinking, gosh, why don't we just go to Portugal? Like, and then we ran through the gamut of what it's like at the airport, what it's like in Portugal, what it's like to sit around with a mask everywhere you go, what it's like to everything has that now filter over it. And it sounded like this would actually not be fun. This would probably be more stress inducing to try and constantly maintain the safety of others around you while also trying to enjoy yourself.
Right.
So funny enough, now we're just thinking, okay, well, maybe we'll just go east or west. We'll go like to Saint-Sauveur up north, or we'll go west to find some whales, or east or something. I don't know, something. Prince Edward County came up because we've gone through there several times. I have family. My grandfather lives there. My aunt, my uncle live that area. And I keep looking at the beaches and the stuff to do. Did you go to the beach?
Oh, yeah. Highly recommend. Dude, definitely should be on the list. It's great. And you don't even think it's so in its own thing. You look at it and you could be anywhere. Like, you could be in Ontario, you could be in Quebec, you could be in Iowa, you could be in a Latin American finca, right? I mean, it's very beautiful. It could be anything. And there's the provincial parks there. We did go to Sandbanks, which is the famous beach. Awesome beach, white sand, the best beach I've ever seen in Canada. Not known for its beaches, obviously.
Really?
It was busy, but if you're going after Labor Day, I mean,
that's my thought.
That would be great. Get a bicycle and bike around, do some wine tours. It was great, and I'm really happy that I've been able to check out some other spots around Ontario that I probably wouldn't have otherwise. It's great.
It's about a 3.5, 4 hour drive our way to get there. Okay. Yeah, maybe 3.5 hours.
There was a lot of French spoken there, so it's. I think I was estimating it's like halfway between where you are and where we are, but maybe a bit more towards us still. But
okay,
clearly lots of Quebecois tourists over there too. So
sure. All right. Well, then, I'm kind of convinced.
Okay.
Kind of convinced. I've always wanted to. And again, I think if we go during the week, then there's not going to be anybody there.
I think you'd like it. The wineries are all not that far away from each other. It's easy to get a bike and bike between. I mean, you could. I mean, people were driving, and maybe not the best idea, but if you got a bicycle, you can kind of go. And the prices are reasonable. I mean, it's like $3 a glass or something,
Yeah.
It's good. And you can get some Flint.
BYO cheese.
BYO cheese. That's it.
Okay. Well, this is the ISOcast. Oh, I'm Corey.
Who are you?
Remember?
I'm Woody in phase 3.
And this has been the ISOcast.